Welcome, I am here to share the story about Pentheus, the king of Thebes. Pentheus, the king of Thebes, rashly opposed the worship of the god Dionysus in his kingdom. His female subjects would go to the hills and race around in a state of delirium, catching wild animals and tearing them to pieces with their bare hands. These women were referred to as Bacchae. Pentheus is so mad that he arrests Dionysus and sends him to jail. Dionysus, being a powerful god, is able to easily persuade Pentheus into doing what he wants. He convinces him to dress up as a female to spy on the female followers in the hill. This is the part of the story where I'm introduced as I accompany Dionysus and Pentheus on their journey as their attendant. First, when we got to the hill, we sat down in a grassy glade and we kept our footsteps and our talk as quiet as possible not to be seen. We found ourselves in a valley full of streams with cliffs on either side. There, under the close shade of the branching pines, the Maenades were sitting, their hands busy with their happy tasks. They were singing holy Bacchic songs, each answering each other. But the ill-fated Pentheus was able to see none of this. He said, "My friend, from where we stand, my eyes cannot make out these so-called worshippers. But if I climbed a towering tree on a cliff, I would have a clear view of their shameful practices." Then I saw that foreigner do an amazing thing. He took hold of the tree's soaring topmost branch and dragged it down to the dark earth, a thing no mortal man could do. Then, seating Pentheus on a high branch, he began to let the tree spring upright, slipping it through his hands steadily, taking care he should not be flung off. As the tree straightened, soared into the soaring sky, bearing my master seated astride, so he was more visible to the Maenades than they were to him. Then out of the sky, a voice, Dionysus I suppose, that foreigner was nowhere to be seen, pealed forth, "Women, here is the man who made a mock of you, and me, and of my holy rites. Now punish him." And in the very moment the voice spoke, you could hear no cry of any beast. The woman, not having caught distinctly what the voice uttered, stood up and gazed around. Then came a second word of command. As soon as Cadmus's daughters recognized the clear bidding of Bacchus, with the speed of doves they darted forward, all the Bacchae after them. Through the torrent-filled valley, over the rocks, possessed by the breath of Bacchus, they went leaping on. Then, when they saw my master crouched high in the pine, they climbed the cliff which towered opposite. They violently flung at him pieces of rocks and of pine trees which they hurled as javelins through the high air all around. Their wretched target missiles flew, yet every aim fell short. The tree's height baffled all their eagerness, while Pentheus, helpless in this pitiful trap, sat there. Then with a force like lightning they tore down the branches of the oak, and with these tried to prise up the tree roots, but their struggles were met with no success. A Gave cried out, "Come, Maenades, stand in a circle around the tree and take hold of it. We must catch this climbing beast, or he'll disclose the secret dances of Dionysus." They came, 1,000 hands gripped on the pine and tore it out of the ground. Then from his high perch plunging, crashing into the earth, Pentheus fell, with one incessant scream as he understood what end was near. His mother first, as priestess, led the rite of death, and fell upon him. He tore his headband from his hair that his wretched mother might recognize him and not kill him. "Mother," he cried, "it is I, your own son Pentheus, whom you bore to Echion. Mother, have mercy. I have sinned, but I am still your own son. Do not take my life." Now this part is a bit too gruesome to show, as he was pulled apart by his own mother, not by her strength, but the god filled her and made it easier. The other women started joining in. Pentheus was shrieking as the women howled in triumph. His mother carried his head over the pastures, thinking it was the head of a young mountain lion. She leaves her sisters dancing to shout to Bacchus, calling him her fellow hunter. her partner in the kill, comrade in victory. But Bacchus gives her bitter tears for her reward. Now I will go. I must find some place far away from this horror before a Gave returns home. A sound and humble heart that reverences the gods is man's noblest possession, and with the same virtue is the wisest too, I think, for those who practice it.